Hey, Growth Squad, welcome back for another episode of the Eugene Hamilton Podcast. Of course, I'm your host. So glad that you've joined me again, as always. Thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule to quickly just press play, watch this YouTube video, or listen to it on audio, wherever you get your podcast. Thank you for your support. We are inching, check this out, we are inching closer to episode 100. It's crazy to think, right, that we've been at this thing for a little bit over 2 years now. And we are thanking you and all of our supporters and friends for just making sure that the word is out, and also hoping that you've gotten value out of our time together. Check it out today. We've got another episode that is hot. I'm self-conscious right now. If you're watching on video, my mama told me last week that my knuckles were ashy. If my knuckles are ashy, forgive me, right? But we're gonna have a good time today. Let's pray. God, thank you for this time together. Thank you for giving us the opportunity to just dig a little bit deeper on a very important topic today. Give us insight, we ask. Amen. What is it costing you not to move forward on something you know you should move forward on? And now I know this is a topic we've touched on a couple of times, but I heard something not too long ago that almost stopped me in my tracks. You may agree or disagree with this. Check it out. Tune in, listen a little bit closer. The statement simply said that ready is a feeling and not a fact. Let that sizzle in your spirit. Think about that for a minute. Saying or being or feeling ready is a feeling, right? And it's not a fact. And the person who shared this guru kind of shared this concept with his audience, and I just tuned in and I kind of followed him a little bit because I was like, where is he going with this? Because at the end of the day, sometimes I get caught up in, as you know, as we all do, our feelings. You wake up in the morning, you don't feel like, let's say, meditating. You don't feel like praying. You don't feel like moving forward. You don't feel like doing a lot of things. And so his whole premise was, hence why ready is a feeling and not a fact. Or I'm sorry, yeah, ready is a feeling. Ready is a feeling, and we've got to deal more with the facts of our reality that it's time to move forward. Now check it out, because oftentimes you and I, especially as we have reached the midpoint of this year, there are some things that we've got to engage in, and some days we don't feel like it. Let's tell the truth. What are some things? Let me know in the comments. What are some things you've got to engage in from day to day that you don't feel as if you're ready, but the fact is you got to do it whether you're ready or not, right? Whether you feel like being a parent. Come on now, right? Your feelings sometimes will say, I don't feel like, but the fact is you got a parent. You may not feel like, right, going to your job, but the fact is your landlord or the bank, you pay your mortgage, they're not going to want to hear that when it's time for the bills to be paid, right? So there's something that is pressing, that is important for us as we try to navigate the times in which we're living in, right? Sometimes our feelings will betray us. Yeah. Sometimes our feelings don't tell the real story. Sometimes our feelings, right? I was watching a court case not long ago. I was following this court case, and I felt like the individual was not guilty, but the facts said otherwise, right? Maybe you've dealt with a situation where even in your family, you felt like somebody didn't do X, Y, and Z, but the facts proved otherwise. And we live in a day and age now. I was almost cracking up the other day because there was a gentleman who had contacted the police because he had brought the company of two young ladies to his apartment, and his whole statement was that they stole from him while he was asleep. They stole, I don't know, some several $1,000 watch. I want to say it was $25,000 watch that they had, or maybe watch and other jewelry items they had taken from him while it is that he was asleep. Now, check this out, because as the news was showing the footage of the young ladies entering his complex, one young lady looked at the camera like full, like like no shame, like, "Hey, how y'all doing?" And if this man's statement is correct, if it's not some kind of scam, if what he's saying is true, then she wasn't wise, right? To look in the camera, smile at the camera, not trying to hide, not trying to wear a baseball hat or anything like that. And listen, I am a horrible person at trying to be a criminal or a crook. And so don't take advice from me. Please don't. But I'm thinking to myself, wow, even if somebody felt like she wasn't guilty or they were not guilty, if what he says is true and the facts add up, it won't be hard to identify who it is, because the fact is we've got your face on camera. Here's where we're going. Because some of you right now don't feel like, because check this out. I work with schools, right? And school is out for many. In fact, just not long ago, my son, who is on summer break, he's just 5 years old, but he's on summer break from his regular schooling cycle. He's in summer camp now. And my wife had the great idea of him not, falling too far behind. In other words, not so much falling behind, but forgetting the skills he developed throughout this past school year. Why don't we revisit some of the things? He's been out about a month now, a little under a month. Why don't we revisit a couple of things to see if we can just keep him on the right track. Lo and behold, as we presented it to him, right, it was almost as if he was sharing with my wife and I that I don't feel like I'm ready to do that. I don't feel like doing what it is that you're asking me to do. I don't feel like doing, but the fact is, young brother, you've got to do this work. And as he began to do his work, and as he began to go over some things that he already learned all last school year, it was evident that he was in need of a little bit of a brush up. He was in need of a little bit of a refresher, because he hadn't been engaged in those things for the past few weeks. Since school's been out, he's been on chill mode, right? And for many of us, there's some things that we were once engaged in that were helping us move in the right direction. No matter what it is, it could be relationship repair. It could be the fact that you were on track in your own schooling journey, and you were on track to get your certification, or you're on track to put yourself in position for that promotion, whatever it was, and you kind of got rusty because you are no longer engaged in, because you don't feel like it. You don't feel like doing whatever it is that's going to set you up. But check this out, because some of you, that if you're honest about it, the things that you don't feel like doing, you know that those things will push you and pull you closer to where you want to go. Check it out, because everybody that I know that likes shortcuts, their reward is often short-lived. For instance, and I'm not against people who take the shortcut route when it comes to, let's say, weight loss, right? And for certain reasons, people have to do it. I understand. Some people have to go certain routes for health reasons or whatever the case might be. But oftentimes I find people who, and I don't want to make this sound like a bad thing, but sometimes people who don't go the route of proper eating and exercise and go that route of spending days on end in the gym, or days on end denying themselves because they have a weight goal or a fitness goal. And some people that I find who don't go that route and who take a shorter route for whatever reason, oftentimes that weight loss that experience is short-lived. They find themselves months or just a year later gaining back what they took a shortcut to get. Now, I'm not saying, because I believe this. I hear people all the time say that you need 10,000 hours to master something. I understand that, right? I don't know if you need 10,000 hours in the gym to lose weight, right? But maybe you need 10,000 hours, as it were, to become a fitness expert. Maybe that's what they're saying. Maybe you need 10,000 hours to become an individual who can train others, right? But we're living in a day and age now where people are almost giving away the secret sauce, right? I heard one person talk about how, yes, I know it takes 10,000 hours, but now we live in a day and age where people are giving away the route that they took. And it's almost as if you don't have to spend the 10,000 hours researching. You can spend the 10,000 hours actually doing the thing, because so many people now are giving us the blueprint. So many people, you check on YouTube, you check on social media, people are giving away their knowledge, and people still, it's almost as if that you can now hack the 10th. You can almost, how can I say this? You can almost hack somebody else's 10,000 hours by just getting their blueprint and doing it still. But people forget this. Even though I hack somebody's 10,000 hours, and this hack sounds like a negative thing. I'm not saying it's negative. I'm saying if somebody has put in the work, it's almost as if, like my son, like, hey, there's some things that I went through, son. Almost my parents as well. Some things that they went through that they passed. They said, hey, here is a hack. Don't go this route. We went that route, and here's how it ends, right? Same thing with my son. I'm like, son, hey, listen, I know you got to live your own life, but here is a hack. Here was a golden nugget. I went down that path before. Right? If you want to make sure that you stay on the straight and narrow path, don't go down this road. Right? And so I'm trying to give him an opportunity to hack into my 10,000 hours. But at the same time, you still have to put in your own work. That makes sense. Like somebody can give me the blueprint, so I don't have to go in the library. Some of you are too young to know about a library. Right? Back in the day, we had to go in the library, had a library card. Right? And would check out books, right? And now people are, you can go online, you got Audible books. We didn't have all that stuff when I was growing up. Right? But if somebody's going to let you hack their 10,000 hours, understand this. The fact is, you still need to put in the work. You still have to, right? Let's say if LeBron James came by your house and said, hey, when I was a child prodigy, when I was a young athlete, they didn't have access to this when I was growing up, but now I discovered this, and here's a way you can kind of get a head start on this based on what I've already been through. Check it out. I want you to start trusting the facts, over your feelings. I want you, in order for you to reach your goals, to live out your fullest potential, to get to a place where you understand that there is power. Yes, nobody's negating the fact that we all have feelings. But I want to invite you to push past all the stuff that you think feeds your feel, all the stuff that actually does feed your feelings, and get down and allow the facts to inform your journey, to inform your decisions, and to inform your posture toward the goals that you have yet to achieve, but you've set them for 2026. I hope that as you've listened to our journey today, that you understand that I am not for one moment saying that your feelings aren't valid. But I am saying that above your feelings, I want you to start operating based on what's factual. Because feelings oftentimes are fleeting. We can feel one way in a moment, and that feeling can move and can go another way, and we can find ourselves, right, in another position where, oh, that feeling only lasted 10 minutes. I'm good. And we're still left with the facts of the matter. So allow the facts to inform your decisions. Allow facts to inform how you move forward, and let the chips fall where they may. I hope today you've got something that's going to help you grow, and glow. I hope you will be so kind to share this episode out and let somebody else know about the reality that it's more powerful for you to go with the facts as opposed to your feelings. Have a great rest of your day. Have a great rest of your week. Look forward to seeing you again next week on a new episode. Take care. Peace.